Welcome back to Web API tutorials. This is part 37, creating entity classes. So in the previous video, we have seen what is entity framework and how to use it in our application. In this application, let us start coding entity framework code first approach. As part of this code first approach, we need to build the entity classes first. So we have seen this in the previous video. Here, if you notice, there are two classes we have created, student class and course class. So we have used these classes inside DBContext to create the DBSets. So that means we need to create the entity classes first. With the help of those entity classes, we need to create the DBSets in the context file. Okay. So let's create the entity classes now. So this is our application. Till now, we are using this repository, in-memory repository. So that means this college repository is working as a database, in-memory database. And here you can see, so this students variable is acting as a table for us. This students table has two records. Okay, here you can see there is a class used to build the records or rows inside this particular students object. So in entity framework also, we need this student class. Okay, let's start building the entity classes. For that, let me add new folder, add new folder. So I will call it as a data folder because we are going to create all database related files in this. So I will create a student class. So this is a student entity class. So this is my student class. So in the previous in-memory object, what are the properties we have used? We can use the same set of properties or we can increase or decrease. So I wanted to use same set of properties. Here if you want to use other properties like date of birth. So like this, if you want, you can add additional fields, no issues. So this is my student entity class. Here if you notice, so which one is a primary key? When we create a entity class, we should define one column as a primary key, right? So suppose if you think ID is a primary key column, we need to tell that to the entity framework. Okay, to tell that to the entity framework, there are attributes. So we need to add a key attribute. So this key attribute is added. So I think you have noticed there is a using statement added for this particular key because this attribute is defined inside this namespace. So now in entity framework, wherever you see this key attribute added on top of any property or variable, so you will recognize that as a primary key column. Okay, so primary key column of that particular table. Okay, so you might get one more question here. So this primary key column is auto generated, right? So for that there is another attribute. So database generated. So this is the attribute we need to use. I think you have already noticed there is one more using added for this. These are the two keys we needed for now. So there are other keys also we can discuss in the upcoming sessions. So now we have created an entity class and we have defined few properties or fields. So out of these, we have defined ID as a primary key column and we defined that primary key column is a auto generated column. Okay, so identity column. So with this, entity class creation is completed. So if you see here, so this particular student class creation is completed. So now let us create this DBContext class. I'm adding one more class, add class. So we can name it like anything, college DB context. So that's the name I want to give. So it's a college DBContext. So this is now a simple class. If you want to make it entity framework context class, we need to inherit it from DBContext class of entity framework libraries. So DBContext. For this, we need to add a using statement using Microsoft Entity Framework Core. So please notice that I have added using statement. So now this class is a DBContext class. So now let us add the DBSet as a table into this. So now we can say this one is a database inside the entity framework. So this class will act as a database inside entity framework. So as we have discussed in this, so we have created DBContext class now. So inside this DBContext class, let us create a DBSet, that means table. DBSet, what is the class name we have created? So it is a student. Student and students. This will be taken as a table name. Okay. So table will be created with this name. If you give the name as students DB table, so the table will be created with this name. Okay. So I want the table created with students name. So I have given this. Okay. Now we have created a context file and we have added one DBSet, that means a table. So now this project is eligible to generate the database. So as part of the code first approach, okay, we did the required coding as part of code first approach. So now we can generate the database out of it. Okay. So we have created the code for the code first approach. In the next video, let us generate the database from this. For more videos like this, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please check the description box for Git repository and WhatsApp channel link and for other stuff. Thank you.